Welcome, people. My name is Joiin. I'll be hosting the webinar today. Just going to hold off for a couple of minutes and just get everybody logged on, and we'll sort of just give it a couple of minutes and kick off from there. Okay, we've got a few people just checking in, so I'll give it another sort of 30 seconds in a minute, and then we'll start off with a quick poll just to warm everybody up. Seems to be having a flurry of people, so give me another 30 seconds and I'll kick off. Okay, so as I briefly said, my name is Joiin. I'm a co-founder of Joiin, and I'll be presenting and hosting the webinar today. We're going to just quickly kick off with a poll. So buttons at the ready, please, and I'll just share this now. Please participate and give us a thought on the question, which is, what is your biggest challenge at month end? Multiple choice. There's 5 answers. Please fire away and give us your answers, please. Lots coming through. That's good. Excellent. Okay, got some really lots of people have answered the question. I'll leave it for another 10 seconds and then I will share. Oh, a couple more coming through. Right, so I'm going to end the poll and I will be sharing the results with everybody. So hopefully you can see those results now. The big winner has been calculating, creating and keeping track of manual journal adjustments each month. So a lot of people went for that, and luckily Ash will be picking up on that in his demonstration later on the webinar. And pretty much tied in second place was maintaining complex spreadsheets, which I think we all have to handle in, and of course we'll be tackling on that, and intercompany transaction eliminations, and Harry will be picking up that later on in the his demonstration. Okay, so I will share that now. Hopefully everybody can see that, and I will just stop that now and come out of the poll. Right, so my name is Joiin. I'm the co-founder of Joiin. With me today is Ash and Harry, and they'll do a quick intro in a second. We've been with Joiin for about 4 years, running consolidation globally. We have customers throughout the globe, so Australia, New Zealand, all the way through America, and Canada, and of course in the UK. So we have Harry's going to do a bit more of an in-depth conversation around Joiin and what we do, and I'll pass you over to Ash, who's going to do a very quick introduction and tell you a little bit about NetTracker.
Thanks, Lucian. Yeah, so my name is Ash Beats. I'm the co-founder of NetTracker. I'm responsible really for designing the software and putting all the support stuff together. And I've got a background in accounting and bookkeeping for 30 odd years. I'm part of the sort of UK trainer writer network, helping accountants use QuickBooks Online, and I've done other stuff as well. That's enough about me, or else I'll go on for too long. So I'll pass you on to Harry, who'll be here all day.
Hi, thanks Ash, thanks Luce. Welcome everybody, particularly to kind of our US friends. This is very US-centric webinar. You might be able to tell by the light that it's kind of closing in on the evening in the UK here. So I'm Harry. I'm the customer success manager at Joiin. So I've been with Joiin kind of 4 or 5 years now. What started off as a tiny little startup on the southwest coast of the UK, has grown into kind of this big consolidation tool. I was first man on the ground actually at Joiin. So way back when in 2018, I came on board kind of managing some of the customer support, and I've kind of ridden along the journey. So I'll hand back over to Ash now.
Okay, just quickly before Ash carries on, just a quick run of the play. Ash is going to take you into a deep dive, a relatively deep dive into NetTracker and give you a demo of the product, followed by Harry, who will do the same for Joiin. We'll then circle back round and I will be doing some Q&A, and then we'll be doing just some wrap up after that. Please, we have a question and answer. If you have any questions that you want to pose, just fire away, and I'll be rounding those all up at the end of the session and going through those for Ash and for Harry to answer. So over to you, Ash. I will just stop sharing and let you grab hold of the screen.
Great, thanks, Lucian. So let me just get my screen up. I'll just check with you if you can see that okay. Excellent. Okay, so what is NetTracker really? What are the advantages of using NetTracker? So it's all about sort of automating calculations and increasing accuracy within your reporting, and getting automated monthly adjusting journal postings between your profit and loss and your balance sheet, and that will improve consistency in your profit and loss reporting. And then at the same time, we want to get some instant reconciliations to your balance sheet. And we're really concerned. So we started off with fixed assets and depreciation because there wasn't any fixed asset module at all in QuickBooks Online. We also integrate with Xero and Sage Business Cloud. We started off with QuickBooks first. So we've got fixed assets and depreciation, which we can fully automate. So you don't even need to log in once you've got it set up. Then we've got adjustments for prepaid expenses and deferred income, and we can create adjustments between accrued expenses and accrued income. So if I, as an example, go into a QuickBooks file that I have here, and I've just got a profit and loss up on my screen. So just double checking you can see the profit and loss there, Lucian. Just gives a thumbs up on that. Oh, cool. So if I'm looking at this particular profit and loss, then what I can see, within turnover, I've got a 5-year maintenance contract, 100,000. And what I'm saying in this example is that one invoice or several invoices have been created, but they actually relate to a 5-year, 60-month term. So I don't want 100,000, whether it's pounds or dollars, in one month. They need to be spread out over all of the months. If I look down in my cost of sales, I've got 20,000 as a commission cost, and actually I need to accrue for that in this example. Let's say that commission relates to sales that were made in earlier months, and a couple of prepayments that are required in here for advertising and insurance, where again I've been invoiced in advance. They relate to future periods, and that's excluding any fixed asset depreciation adjustments. I've got no depreciation in here at all. So I'm just going to head over into Net Tracker. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the whole setup of Net Tracker because that's another tutorial in itself. I wanted to go straight into what I can do, once it's all set up and in place. So I'm just looking at my dashboard. I've got my financial year, which is running from January to December 23, and I've only, in my next period end at the moment is January. I've not done any processing at all. I've got no fixed assets reporting, and I've got no values of prepayments and accruals at the moment. Now, if I take a look at possible fixed asset transactions, I can go to view those transactions. And what we have is, let me just click on view, it should be coming through. Just click on the refresh the browser, I'm not sure that's come through. Whether it's timed me out for any reason. There we go. So what I can see here, so I've got everything set up. I've got transactions that have come through based upon posting to a fixed asset category. So I could review these. Now you can actually fully automate this process. So there's every 2 weeks, there's a call between Net Tracker and your accounting software, which will look at an asset addition, and it could automatically add it to the fixed asset register. Or you can do what I'm doing here, and that you could review the purchase and then decide to put it to the fixed asset register. So just for quickness, I'm really just going to go through these and accept all of those and just go to create the asset. So the depreciation rule, I've got some defaults in here for 3-year straight line. You can create your own depreciation rules. I'm just going to get those assets on. And we'll take a look at the fixed asset register in a moment. But what I want to do, first of all, is just get those assets put on into place. And I can see they've moved from this pending into basically processed entries. They've gone on to the asset register, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Now, there was an accrual that was required for sales commission. So I've created some different sort of accrual and prepayment groups and link those groups to the balance sheet. So what I want to do now is actually just create an accrual. So this is going to be for some accrued expense, and this is going to be a sales commission, and sales commissions. And I know that that cost came in June, and that was for 20,000, but I actually want to accrue it over the 6 months. So I want to have whatever that is, 3,000 odd within every month. So I'm going to want to spread that cost over 6 months, and I want to start the costs from the end of January. If I'd already put a provision in the balance sheet, but not actually released any adjustments, I could put that value in there. But I've not made any journals whatsoever. So at this point, I'm just going to click OK to create the accrual. Just double check that. Accrued expenses, sales commission, profit and loss, sales commission, that profit and loss category, 30th of June, should be all good on that. So let me just click OK. Now you can, for your deferred income and your prepaid expenses, you can put them in manually like that. At present, there is no direct feed like I have for these fixed assets, but that is something that we are planning on in the future. But what I can do, in fact, if I just bring up a sample of an import template for prepaid expenses, I've got a group there for prepaid expenses and what the prepayment is. The profit and loss account that's going to be affected, when the date of that charge came in, what the values were, and how many months I'm basically want to spread that cost over. So I'm going to import that, and I'm going to do the same, in fact, for my deferred income. I've got 100,000 worth of sales invoices, and I want to defer those over 60 months. So what I'll do is I'll just take myself back into Net Tracker and choose on here to import my prepaid expenses. So let me just choose my file. I've got a prepayment import already set up there. So there's the two entries, and I can make some modifications to those if I want to, but I just want to complete that import at that point. And I'm going to do exactly the same, import my deferred income. Let me just choose that file. And I'll just complete that import there. So you can see that 60 months over each of those invoices. Let me just choose complete import. Now, at this particular point in time, I've not created any journal entries. Now, what I have done is I've added all the fixed assets on. So I can see at the moment, I've got a net tracker book value of fixed assets of 40,490. It tells me there that my, basically my balance sheet in my accounting software is Xero, and that's because it's looking at the balance sheet as of 31st of January, and those particular assets weren't purchased until March and beyond. So when I actually start processing the depreciation or whatever journals I need, it's going to move forward and look at the month that we do. Now I can just go and create journal for the next month, but I'll just basically, I can go all the way up to June. So I've got June 30th, let me process. So all of the journals that I need for depreciation, for the deferred income adjustments, for the accruals, for the prepayments, and I'll just do a little reload on that page, have now been made in the accounting software. Now I can see that my asset register is agreeing exactly to my balance sheet. So there's no difference. So let me just have a quick look at the asset register. So if I go to the asset register, I've got computer equipment, I've got motor vehicles, I've got the costs of all of those, I've got the depreciation that's been processed so far, I've got the net book value. And I can export that into Excel if I want to, and there's motor vehicles there too. If I just pop back to the dashboard, I've got no accrued expenses because basically I accrued to the end of June, and that's basically reversed, it sorted itself out. But my deferred income has got a balance left over, and so have my prepaid expenses. And if I were to look at the statements, and again, you'll see there's a current balance and there's an external balance. So that's my net tracker balance and that's my balance sheet, and they should be exactly in line. So if I were looking at accrued expenses, there's no balance left. It's basically all the adjustments have been made. If I'm looking at my prepaid expenses, what I can see here, I'll just change that page sizing. I've got 2 prepayments. That's the balance that's left over, how many months were required in total, and agreeing back to the balance sheet. The same with my deferred income. So if I went back to my profit and loss, and I just need to reload that. What we'll see now is my 5-year maintenance contract, where I did have 100,000 in 1 month, is now being spread over 60 months. And you won't see in this particular setting an exact same figure every month, because what we have is a setting that enables the calculations to be made by the number of days in a month, or the number of, basically just strictly the number of periods. So it could have been 100,000 divided by 60, or it could be 100,000 divided by the number of days in the month and adjusting it so on. So if you've got an insurance cost that starts at the middle of the month, then it will take 15 days worth, so many months, and you'll have 15 days worth at the end of the last month. And we've got our advertising and marketing. Again, we've got smooth values there in the profit and loss. And if I come down towards the bottom, my depreciation when the assets were first purchased in February, I've now got depreciation charges in every single month. So in a nutshell, what I'm not sure how long that would have taken me if I'd have done all the journal adjustments manually and gone into every spreadsheet that I might have been monitoring. But it would have taken me a bit longer than sort of like 5 minutes that I think that I've just done there. So I think that's and basically that's it in a nutshell from me at the moment. So it's time really for me to move over to Harry. So I've just looked at one company, but I can be doing the same for 3 or 4 companies, and Harry might want to merge all that information into one. So thanks, Lucian. Harry, I'll pass you. I'll stop sharing my screen and hand over.
Okay, thanks, Ash, for that one. Really interesting there. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen a moment, and I'll kind of go on to kind of talk a little bit about Join and how we can kind of bring together what Ash just shows here into that kind of multi-entity group surrounding and kind of create some consolidated reports, kind of various different use cases. So I'll just kind of give you a bit of a background about Join. So as I kind of previously alluded to, Join's about 5 years old, been part of the QuickBooks and Xero ecosystem since early 2018 and kind of grown from strength to strength, kind of riding the kind of coattails of the move to cloud accounting. Something that's kind of that we're very proud of is our reputation that kind of precedes us. So very kind of positive reviews. If you look on any of the marketplaces, we're currently sitting about 250 reviews across your kind of various marketplaces, so Xero, QuickBooks, and Sage. And then some of the kind of numbers in terms of number of users that we're kind of really proud of. We are currently operating in over 100 countries, so finance professionals and accountants are using Join in over 100 countries. I think it's about 113 at the moment, but over 100 is a nice little ring to it. And then we've got 35,000 plugged in entities as well. So making us kind of a very large kind of contributor to the Xero and QuickBooks marketplaces. Before I kind of move on to the kind of the principles of Join and show you the demo, kind of our USP within the kind of consolidation market is all about our kind of accessibility, usability, and how easy and quick it is to use Join. So you'll hear me kind of keep banging on about it, and I'm sorry if I kind of bore you, but we talk about kind of simplicity and kind of speed of getting to that end result and not having to manage complex spreadsheets. So I'm going to go on over into the Join platform. Okay, there we go. And open that one up and just get a thumbs up from Lucian or Ash to say that we're good and we can see that one. Okay, great. So like I say, so I'll take you through kind of the initial setup of Join, how quick and simple that is, move you on to some of our out-of-the-box reports, some of our customer reporting, and then finish with our kind of aesthetically pleasing report packs. So I talk about that kind of speed at getting to kind of setup and running reports. You sign up to Join for the first time, you get a 14-day free trial. And then once you log in to Join for the first time, you're presented with this page in front of you. So it'll be a blank page. And this is where you begin adding your Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, or companies from any which way into Join. So you can see here, I've got a couple of Ash's demo companies actually loaded in already. The nett Tracker companies, we've got some CSV uploaded companies and our demo companies. In terms of getting that data in, it's really simple. So press add company here, connect to Xero, QuickBooks, or Sage, and log in with your username and password. And it takes kind of on average 1 or 2 minutes to get each company into Join in terms of for it to load. And then that data is refreshed every day, every 24 hours. And you can see when that data was last refreshed here. So that's in terms of getting your data into Join. One of the things that we kind of like to talk about is kind of how long it takes to go from signing up for Join to getting to that aha moment to say, oh, wow, this has created something for me. So I'm just going to go on over to the P&L. And basically that aha moment, or the first aha moment of when you produce a consolidated report, on average is about 6.5 minutes from the moment of sign up to the average customer running a consolidated report within Join. So what we have here at the moment is just your very bog standard kind of single company P&L. So if I click on this list here, you can see that I've got one of the nett Tracker company's P&L displayed on screen. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through the process and build this up into a consolidated report in just a couple of clicks. So first step, you select which companies you'd like to include. So in here, I've got a list of all of the companies within this particular group. So I'm going to build up, include all of these nett Tracker companies and then these 2 CSV companies as well. So I'm going to apply those changes, and just like that, Join will run that consolidation for you. And there's aha moment number 1, basically. you have a consolidated P&L for 5 companies. Something that anyone who's produced a consolidated report before knows, having to kind of grapple with complex spreadsheets, speak to the different divisions. Maybe there could be some time zones involved, and this can be a days, a weeks, a months, or even kind of too much to manage process. But like you see, we can kind of do that at a couple of clicks of a button. Then we have the currency option. So I'll click on this one here. So Joiin will handle all of your multi-currency for you by default. So we provide you with exchange rates out the box, ready to run, and we also handle all of your adjustments, FX translations, and such. So I'm gonna select the US dollar currency, and I'm gonna run this report here. So I've got a couple of British pounds, a couple of Canadian dollars, a couple of US dollar companies, and I've run a report in US dollars for these ones here. Again, a couple of clicks. So then we have the kind of report parameters option. So we can click on this one, and we can kind of slice and dice with the data and decide how we want to display it. So we've currently got none, compare by none, such as a simple consolidation for the month of August. But what we can do is we can compare by company. So we could get a breakdown like this. So this is another one of those aha moments when we're kind of presenting to prospective customers. We run a report looking at, as we have in front of us, the 5 companies side by side with the consolidated, giving that really nice kind of granular detail of the individual entities, but equally in that same space, the consolidated total for your kind of overall group performance. So you can see here we've got the net track companies, Marina Inc. and Rose Garden. Then we'll go back on over here and we can slice and dice the data again. So we've got some other options which I won't go into now, but we've got category, class, and location data all consolidated within Joiin. So pulling in your Xero tracking categories or QuickBooks classes and locations. We can get a breakdown by current and previous months, so getting some time series data. Again, all at that consolidated view, like so. Some other things that I'll kind of highlight that we can show, we've got budgets all brought in from QuickBooks and Xero as well. So that's kind of your kind of first running of reports within Joiin, showing you how kind of the basic consolidation works. But obviously that's kind of all out the box. There's kind of layers of complexity that we can build on top of this. So I'll take you through some of the more kind of advanced levels of Joiin. So obviously anyone that's produced or kind of run management or kind of statutory reporting for a consolidated group will know intercompany transactions and eliminations are one of the things you have to manage and can be potentially a headache. That's where kind of Joiin really comes into its own. So I'm going to change the data that I have on screen just quickly so that we're kind of narrowing down what we can see on screen, just so we can kind of really hone in on the bits that we want to focus on. So I'm just running a report for the time being, looking at my 2 companies, Marina Inc. and Rose Garden, just for the month of August 23. So you can see here we've got kind of a 2-company consolidation. In terms of managing of the intercompany transactions, I've done all that already. Basically, I've gone and told Joiin which accounts are intercompany transactions. And now I'm going to show you how they can behave on screen. So I can click on this elimination box up here, and I can now decide kind of how they behave within the Joiin platform. So I've got show all accounts, so temporarily turn off intercompany transactions. So kind of handy for kind of single entity reporting. You then got remove eliminated accounts. So this is once you're happy with your eliminations and intercompany transactions, you're going to remove them from the reports. I'll just do that very quickly. Nothing will appear on the screen as yet. You then got the kind of checks and balance that you can do within Joiin to make sure that you've A, selected the right accounts for elimination, and B, they match off against each other. And if not, you can go on and post adjustment, FX adjustments, consolidation journals. So we've got this show eliminated accounts only option. So I'm going to show eliminated accounts only. So just the accounts I've tagged for elimination. And then I've got some different elimination sets in here, just kind of giving you that more granularity and flexibility within the reports. And I'm just running that one there. And you can see all of the different accounts that I've tagged for to be intercompany transactions, just kind of giving a bit of a check and balance mechanism to make sure that they all balance off correctly against each other. And like I said, you can go on and post adjustments at that point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on to custom reporting and just show you very quickly an example custom report rather than doing any of the creation. I'll just show you what that one looks like. So I'm going to open up this taskbar over here, go on over to custom reports. And I'm going to go through and find one of the templates that I've created previously. So it's month-end P&L by period. I'm going to open that one. It's saved all of my report filters for me automatically from my previous reports. And I'm just going to include a little bit more data just to kind of bring the charts to life more than anything. And then I'm just going to quickly run you through some of the functionality available to you, but not boring you with the details of creating. So customer reporting, we've got charting. So we've got bar, donut, and line charts available to you. You've then got formula analysis, so for kind of the creation of KPIs or kind of general formula analysis. And then finally, the grouping tool as well. So this is number one question, which I'm sure would be asked in the Q&A anyway, about is there issues with charts of account not matching? Not an issue whatsoever. Within Join, you can remap your chart of account. So you can see here, we've got this revenue group. I've kind of broken this one down. I've got 3 subgroups. And then notice this one subscriptions here, which I can open up. And we have 2 accounts in here, which have different names, different codes, different types. But using the Join remapping, I've told Join that these accounts mean the same thing, and I want them to be brought together. So like you can see here, they're all kind of nicely nestled within that subscriptions group. So that's just kind of a real quick look at customer reporting. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up the kind of my portion of the demo and show you Join's report pack. So kind of just a way to basically display your reports in a more aesthetically pleasing way, group them together, send them by email, download them, kind of share them, and kind of make it a more collaborative piece. So I'm just going to open up this one one moment, and then we have this Join report pack here. So all very highly customizable, like the rest of Join really. You can go through and edit any of these features. So I've got my company logo here, Join, but you would have your clients or your logo. And then all of this is customizable as well, and ready to download as PDF or send as the actual live view and kind of display on board meetings, etc. So I'm just going to scroll through and basically give you an idea of how these reports look in the report pack more than anything else, highlighting some of the reports I haven't already. So we've got this nice P&L here with some notes and commentary attached to it. We also have accounts receivable and accounts payable, aging, as well as a sales by customer report, again, all at the consolidated level. And you are actually also able to drill down directly into Xero from those ones as well, which is a really handy, nice little feature. We've got this intercompany matrix as well. So this is what I showed you previously, basically a way to track the intercompany transactions in your report. We've got a cash flow, so backwards looking cash flows within Join, just showing you that one there. And that is kind of the end of this particular report pack that I created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my portion of the demo, and I'm going to hand back on over to Lucian, and he's going to pose some questions to myself and Ash, and I can see they've been coming in thick and fast actually. So I will move on to that one. So thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Ash, and thank you, Harry. And we've got a few questions. So what I will do is I will pick out a few of these, and then Ash and Harry can answer. If you need any more explanation, again, please just fire out a bit more of a question on the Q&A, and we can try and explore that. So first one that's come through is, can Join be used to consolidate the 2 net asset classes, bracket funds, that we use in the US? We would set up each fund as a different company, I suspect. Harry, what's the use around classes and separate entities?
Yeah, exactly. So so this might be one that we kind of have to explore and dive into kind of personally, but it sounds very much like your standard Join use case where you have maybe 2 separate entities operating within the same group, or maybe some of it sounds like it might be split up by different classes and locations. But yeah, it sounds very much like your standard Join use case that Join would be able to manage.
Okay, excellent. One for you, Ash. The question really just about restrictions and permissions, and do we need to let everybody see all of the asset register, or can that be restricted? You're on mute, Ash.
Yeah, I just know so that's to answer. Yeah, if you set up a user, so within an accounting firm, as an example, you might have multiple clients, and you can restrict, who has access to a particular client. And if you add one of your clients as a user, yeah, they can be just directed to look at their own, asset register, and they won't see, other companies. So unlimited users, but yes, you can restrict what those users can see.
Okay, thank you. One about FX rates. Can they be changed to match xe.com for Xero?
So yeah, thanks, Luce. And thanks, Anne-Marie, for that question, wasn't it? Yeah, thanks, Anne-Marie. So by default, Join uses a vendor called Open Exchange Rates, should I say. However, you can override this really simply and plug in a particular rate that you might want to use, using your example, xe.com as Xero users. So
Okay.
Thanks, Anne-Marie, for that one.
Okay, that's fine. We had another question around group companies and the need to eliminate intercompany transactions for consolidation. Do you think we've answered that one, Harry, in the demonstration that you went through?
Yeah, so I can see that one that came in from the anonymous attendee, didn't it? Yeah, so we explored that kind of at the kind of beginning of the Join demo. So what we'll do, we can reach out to you personally, we can kind of go through that one in a bit more detail, but equally within our support site, there's kind of countless how-to guides that kind of go through that. But yeah, thanks for putting that one in. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, Enrico's actually just explained a bit more about the classes question. It's for non-profit accounting with donor restrictions and without donor restrictions. Essentially, there are two different companies that we consolidate at the end of year. I think that's one that we would like to probably delve a bit deeper in and understand the use case a bit more to answer. Would you agree with that, Harry?
Yes, yeah, like I say, it does sound like something that we'd be able to handle, but there might be some kind of hidden complexities there.
Okay. Is in Net Tracker, is it all self-serve, or can you help onboard people? Ash, what's the...
So yeah, there's a couple of options. It's mainly self-serve, so it should be quite easy to get yourself set up fairly easily. But if not, because I know some people are very busy and they don't always have time to do that sort of thing. So we do have an onboarding option available. So that's all detailed in the website. People can basically just drop us a message if that's something that they'd like us to do for them.
Okay, good. And we also have another couple from Anne-Marie. Actually, I think it's the same. That Xero can report by category types. They call actual. And we use these for our reporting for a SaaS company. How can we duplicate this in Join?
So all of that category data, Anne-Marie, will be brought into Join automatically. So into Join comes your kind of financial, sales, and all of that category data, all ready to be put on your reports. Touch of a button on your P&L. So yeah, that one will be brought in automatically for you.
Excellent. One more for you, Ash, is just about the limits on fixed assets and number of users. So are there any defined limits for both assets and users within Net Tracker? So
with users, there's no limit at all. So fully unlimited users. With regards to the number of assets, so we do sort of have a limit with standard pricing of up to 2,000 assets. So in standard, and if you've got more than 2,000 assets, then again, people need to reach out to us so that we can make sure people are charged fairly, basically, because I know there's a lot of stuff about fair pricing, and we try and be as fair and as transparent as we possibly can.
Yeah, that's great. And I think we've got a couple of roundup slides for both you and Harry just to talk about next steps. So we can touch on that in a second. We're pretty much done. Just Enrico, we've got your email. Thank you. And we will reach out to you post this and just discuss a bit further your use case. Thank you very much for your email. Just thinking about time now, we've only got a few minutes left until we start to wrap things up. So I think we have picked up on that. Just one last thing before we go into the, if you just want to just talk quickly through, Ash, on the next steps for yourself, and then Harry will finalize his as well.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Lucian. So if anyone likes to trial Nett Tracker, so usually we offer a 14-day free trial. For this particular webinar, we're going to extend it to 90 days. So you can sign up. So the option at the bottom there, if you go directly to app.nett, nett-tracker.com/sign up. If you go directly to that address, it'll take you directly to the sign up page. And once you follow the wizard through, if you put the promo code in, you can use Nett Tracker Unlimited for 3 companies, completely free for 90 days. You don't need to put any credit card details in at all. So we're not, going to all of a sudden start charging you. You can just trial it and see how you get on.
Great. Thank you. Harry?
Great stuff. Okay, yeah, so I'll just close up from the Joiin point of view. So yeah, kind of in conjunction with Ash, really, we're offering the same kind of one-time offer, just exclusive for people that were a part of this webinar. So that's a 90-day free trial. Again, no credit card needed, when usually you only get a 14-day free trial. So basically, at the point of sign up, you sign up for Joiin and you just quote that you were part of this webinar, use the code JOINXNET. We'll be able to kind of grant you that extension, giving you that kind of that one-time offer. So I'll just talk about pricing very quickly. So pricing starts from $19 per month for 2 companies, and that's total. And kind of then they're kind of going up the price scales with the more companies or entities you add. And kind of within each price point, you have unlimited users, unlimited access to support network, and all features as well. So it's kind of an all-you-can-eat on that one. So I'm going to kind of round off the webinar here. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to send a poll out, just kind of saying basically who would you like to contact you, kind of what did you think of the demo, and would you like Joiin or Nett Tracker to contact you. So I'm just putting this poll. I'm just going to put this poll up for you now. Okay, and I'm just launching that closing poll. And if you'd just like to answer that one, someone from the Joiin and or Nett Tracker team will be in touch to help you out with that one. So yeah, thank you very much from me. I'll leave that poll just for a couple of moments on screen, and we'll close up this webinar. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. And I'll hand back over to Lucian just to finish as well.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Ash. Hopefully, as Harry said, this has been informative, and as Harry said, we'll be sending out, you will receive a copy of this. We have had a couple more questions coming through, so what we will do is just answer those via responses on the email. But thank you for everybody for your participation, and hopefully you have had a good 45 minutes and learned some more about both Nett Tracker and Joiin and how it can benefit your business. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.